going to introduce you back to Justina again, and we have a special treat in store. I'll hand over. Justina?
So I know it's been a long afternoon and we've heard from lots of women. So I think it's about time we bring another man back to the stage. Sultana wanted to shake things up a little in the afternoon, and she said, Justina, what can we do? And I suggested, I think I know a man for the job. And so this individual is an author and two-time author, a boxing coach, and a frequent public speaker, but also Sultana. He's my baby brother. Kieran, come to the stage.
Thank you very much for having me today, and good afternoon. My name is Kieran Ekeledo, and it's a pleasure to greet you all. Before I begin my talk, I just want to ask a few questions. First off, raise your hand if you are a fan of boxing. Okay, lovely. So we've got a few fans in the room. Second question. Outside of fight fans, raise your hand if you're a fighter. And when I say fighter, does not mean necessarily stepping into the ring, but if there's causes or missions that you strongly believe in and that you're willing to stand up for, raise your hand. Lovely. So I'm in the right room today. So my name, as I said, Kieran Ekeledo, I'm a boxing life coach. And the first question I get to that is, well, what does that mean? So a boxing life coach, what I do is I help fight fans, fighters, and entrepreneurs from all walks of life to excel both personally and professionally. In my life, I've come through certain setbacks and challenges, both through physical health and mental health. And boxing has been that constant that's helped me to overcome those difficulties, which I share in my book, The 12 Boxing Principles of Success. But today, I'm going to not just try to inspire, motivate, and empower you, but I'm going to just share this with some spoken word and a few melodies. So the first poem I want to share with you is to connect the dots between boxing and also the mission of the tools you have to continue to fight for the causes you believe in. As a boxer, in the ring, we're on our feet. We use our jab, our cross, our hooks and uppercuts, but again, that's not allowed in the court. And so I definitely discourage that from happening there. But we do have other tools. And those tools that we have, I call them the three tools. So first we can speak, we can write, and we can unite. So those is the name of my first poem, which I'm going to share with you this afternoon. Also, I like a bit of background music. And so El Naldi I'm a fan of his music. I feel it creates emotion. Even before I've spoken, you can already feel what's going to happen. So the first poem, Speak and Write to Unite. In the ring, fists clenched tight, a fighter trains with all their might. Each jab, each hook, each feint precise, preparing for the ultimate sacrifice. But beyond the ropes, another fight ensues, where words are wielded and minds are infused. In the battle for justice, equality's call. We hone our tongues, our pens standing tall. Just as footwork guides a boxer's dance, organization lays our strategic stance. In the ring, it's gloves and sweat that bind. In our cause, it's unity of heart and mind. With syntax and rhetoric, we parry and thrust, seeking to break barriers to earn good trust. For in the spoken word and written decree lies the power to set all people free. So let us speak, let us write, let us unite. In the pursuit of justice, in the fight for what's right. With fists or with words, we'll stand side by side for a world where equality will forever abide. Stay blessed. Thank you. So in that message, what I wanted to share is something profound. There's 12 key principles I learned through boxing, but you can then take onto life and any battles you may be facing. And the principles are as follows. First, we start with faith. You've got to start with that self-belief, believing in yourself and believing in the power within. Secondly, we look at our vision. What are we aiming towards? What vision do we have for ourselves and for those that we're fighting for? Number 3 is teamwork, because teamwork makes the dream work. That's where the unity comes to play. Number 4 is focus, because when we have focus, then we have the ability to light and shine. The sun on its own is a powerful tool, but when with a magnifying glass, it's able to create fire with the power of focus. Next, we have its hard work and dedication, because in order to achieve success, the only place success comes before work is in a dictionary. Otherwise, the work has to come first. Principle 6 we have is discipline, because discipline, this is going to be the bridge between your goals and accomplishment. Principle 7, the will to win. Winning's not everything. Not every battle you face will you win, but wanting to win is key. Principle 8 is resilience, because there will be tough times. But let me tell you today, tough times don't last, but tough people do. 9 we have is confidence. You must be confident in your approach. When you're there fighting for your cause, stand boldly, speak boldly, be confident in what you're saying. Number 10 is respect, starting with self-respect, but as you respect yourself, others will respect you. Principle 11, humility, because there's 2 elements of humility. First, having an attitude of gratitude, but second is having a willingness to learn. When I was working with Dr. Maki Mandela, she came to London and performed at the O2 last year for Black History Month. And she said, change is a constant of life. So we must ensure that we are humble enough to be able to evolve with that. And last is legacy, which is the 12th principle. Create a legacy that you are proud of. And you're all doing that right now by being in this room and sharing and learning from those who have walked before you and can guide you on your next path. So those are my 12 principles I wanted to share with you today. But before I go, I have got a second piece, which is more in line for women's rights, for girls' rights, and people who have paved the way and who have shared incredible stories through what they've done, through the words they've done, what they've spoken, the words they've written, and they've created unity. So for my next piece, we're going to also do El Naldi, but this time it's going to be life, because life is what we're living. This poem is called I'm Human, right? Some of the names you may know, some of the main names you'll learn. In the tapestry of time, woven bright, women rise with courage and might. Emmeline Pankhurst, suffrage's flame. In the UK street, she etched her name. Harriet Tubman, leading the way through fields of freedom, come what may. Rosa Parks, seated firm and strong, igniting change where she belonged. From Africa's soil, Wangari Maathai's grace, planting hope in every space. Winnie Mandela, resilient and bold. In South Africa's struggle, her story was told. I'm human, right? Echoes through time, a rallying cry, a mountain to climb. With each breath, they stood upright, their voices heard in the darkest night. Through affirmations, they claimed their worth. In body language, their strength unearthed. I'm human, right? They boldly say. For women's rights, they paved the way. In the UK, Millicent Fawcett's name, a pioneer in the suffrage game. In America, Betty Friedan's call for women's rights, she gave her all. With every verse, their stories told of courage, resilience, and heart so bold. In 32 lines, we honor their might. For women's rights, they fought the fight. So let our voices soar like the birds in flight. Let's break barriers with all our might for equality, for justice, for what's right. Let's stand together and let our voices take flight. Thank you very much. Thank you. So as we end today, or this break, before we go off, I want you to leave inspired, motivated, empowered. And I'm going to finally share those 4 keys of self-mastery that you can do to begin with that power within. The first is affirmations, using your language. Again, self-talk is a powerful way to empower yourself. Secondly, we look at our goals. What are we aiming for? You set the goal to be here and you're there. You've probably got goals that you want to achieve personally and professionally. Write them down, put them to work, set those goals out clear. Once those goals are there, visualize them. Visualize the end goal. When you begin these tough challenges, there's going to be setbacks, but when you have a strong vision, you'll continue powering through. And finally, we've got physiology. That's where we control our body language, our breathing, and the actions we take. So as we finish today, I want us to stand up and we're just going to share some words of affirmation to bring power within. This may be your first time, but I give you confidence. If you want to stay seated, you can. But if you do have the courage to stand, I invite you all to stand to share some words of affirmation. Again, you've been sitting for a long time, shake those body out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to share some words of affirmations. And it's going to, all that we're going to say is, I will shine bright for girls' human rights. Because that's what we're here for, right? So after me, I will shine bright for girls' human rights. Again, I will shine bright for girls' human rights. Now, one more time, like this is the last time you're ever going to say it. I will shine bright for girls' human rights. Thank you very much.